Well, if we look to that again, well, they've actually stopped the race. The mechanics protesting profusely, and they've decided to put the red flag out at last. And it's race number 1, start 2. This time Balducci behaving, staying where he should do to the gate, had dropped. Who's it going to be that gets the whole shot? The answer is number 12, Mikhail Mascio. PUZAR back in third, Vial. Roy Snellingham, number 18, the Norwegian rider going through. And there is Paul Malin, the overall winner at the previous Grand Prix in Great Britain. Tortelli going through, number 25, as the rest come screaming around, and it's Mascio. From number 10, Max Bartolini from PUZAR, and Frederick Vial, and Vial does the triple. Mascio. Oh, Bartolini getting it all wrong through there, just about managing to hang on as the rest struggle through as well, with Chiodi beginning to close up. Tortelli, he goes through. Mascio. Best result of the season, he won the overall result at the Spanish Grand Prix. Can he do it again here? PUZAR, 77, won the last race at the previous Grand Prix in Great Britain. The overall winner right behind him, that's Paul Malin, 68, but it's Mascio out front. From Max Bartolini, from Chiodi. Chiodi second in the championship, still chasing PUZAR. Vial, then Federici with Malin and Tortelli. Mascio under pressure now from Chiodi. Can Chiodi force his way past? There's the championship leader going through, 77. PUZAR, Bartolini, Tortelli and Vial. Then it's the Brit, Paul Malin. First year in the 125 category after a couple of wanderless years in the 250s. And Chiodi has found a way through, and so has PUZAR. We've lost then Max Bartolini as Tortelli goes up to third. It is Chiodi who takes then the checkered flag, and race 1. PUZAR, championship leader, is second. So a win then from the first heat for Chiodi, beginning to claw back the points on this man, Alessandro PUZAR, number 77. Heat 2 then, the gate drops. Will it be clean this time? And the answer is yes. So those points differences now making just a little difference in the championship as Chiodi takes the head. Then PUZAR chases him in second. As the rest of the pack scream through, it's Chiodi grabbing big air over the jumps. He leads Heat 2 then here in the Czech Republic. Looking back for second, and it's PUZAR, a repeat so far of the result of race 1. Chiodi wants so much to win this World Championship. Finished second to Bob Moore last year in the same team. On course, oh, he very nearly stalled the bike then. That could have been disaster because PUZAR isn't that far behind him. PUZAR already a 250 World Champion from 1990. Can he win the 125 World Championship and join the list of those many riders that are on possible chances of winning all 3? Chiodi still leads. We're looking back for second. It was, and it should still be, number 77, Alessandro PUZAR. It is. Only needs to keep collecting points now. A considerable lead in the championship as PUZAR has over this man, number 2, Alessio Chiodi, the Italian. Rides for Chesterfield Yamaha. There's PUZAR, gets the lap board. Tells him the distance between himself and the next man along, which looks very much like Jimmy Button, but I think he's chasing Max Bartolini, and Chiodi then takes the win in Heat 2. That's a back-to-back win for Chiodi, 40 points. PUZAR comes home second again, 2 sets of 17. That's 34 points as the rest come through, and Bartolini then takes third. Round 9 of the championship moves to San Marino. Very, very hot and sunny day. Big crowd turning out to enjoy the racing as the riders settle themselves down for the start of Heat 1. It's still PUZAR leading the championship, with Chiodi chasing in second place, but they're squabbling for the lower placings. The gate drops for the start then of Heat 1. And into that first left-hander they go, and it looks like Camerlengo, number 30, Eric Camerlengo, that's got the legs on the rest. Paul Malin, Federici, Tortelli, Chiodi, Vial, they are coming through. And 71, that's Jimmy Button on a new number for this Grand Prix. But Federici now shadowing the Englishman. He's got Tortelli there. Camerlengo drops off the pace. Chiodi, so that's Malin then that leads, the British rider, leading another Grand Prix this year. And that is PUZAR, 61. A change of numbers for PUZAR for the San Marino Grand Prix. And he's had a terrible start. Still leads the championship. But if Chiodi can establish himself at the front, he may well be able to claw back some of those points. There is Chiodi down in fourth. It's Federici now that leads. There is Camerlengo. And Tortelli now goes into the lead. Federici second, Chiodi third, Malin has dropped back to fourth. The Brit rider making a small mistake on the far side of the circuit. Vial goes through, so does Bartolini. As we pick up the action once again at the front, it's the young French star, 16-year-old Sébastien Tortelli. Then Federici, number 15, he's second. Paul Malin, 43, is now third, with Chiodi behind him. Second in the championship, trying to claw back points, and PUZAR way down the running order at the moment. The leader, once again, the 16-year-old. Can he win this? Federici, the 125 championship, now very much a breeding ground for the young riders. 22-year-old Kiko Chiodi, he's third. Fourth then for the 23-year-old Brit, Paul Malin. Then it's the 22-year-old Frederic Vial. First Grand Prix race, 1991. And he's been very consistent from then on. South African, number 89, that's Colin Dugmore with Mashio behind him. Oh, it's a poor race for him so far. Tortelli going through, 25. Still leads, looking back for second place man. There he is, Chiodi. Way out in front of Sandro PUZAR, scoring some very useful points, will help his campaign trying to get back on top of the World Championship standings. 15, Claudio Federici. And it is Sebastian Tortelli then that takes 20 points from Heat 1. Chiodi taking 17 then. Well, Tortelli there, winner of race 1. With his umbrella, trying to keep himself cool. It's in the plus 80s here. Large crowd has turned out. We've still got some great 125 racing. Gate drops then. Heat 2 gets underway. Who this time will it be that gets the whole shot? Into that left-hander, and it looks like Eric Camerlengo. He's out there in front. Will he emerge out of the corner leading? And the answer is yes, indeed. Camerlengo down the hill. PUZAR second, but Chiodi is on the inside of PUZAR. Is he going to get him? Yes! To the delight of the crowd here in San Marino. Chico Chiodi has taken the championship leader, Sandro PUZAR. So the top three, fourth place man, right in close attendance. Camerlengo, Chiodi going for, it's Delago in fourth, but Chiodi looking for the lead. That's Mashio, and then Bartolini in sixth place. And Chiodi goes through. PUZAR must see what's happening. He needs to pass second place man, Camerlengo. He needs to get on terms with Chiodi. There's Paul Malin, 43. He's got Tortelli, number 25, on the inside of him. France versus England, but it's Italy that leads in the shape of number 2, Chesterfield 125. Chiodi second then for Camerlengo. Then it's Delago. He's up to third. PUZAR down to fourth. Mashio fifth. But the lead at the front being extended gradually by Chiodi. But the battle is on for second, third, fourth and fifth. Mashio hounding PUZAR at the moment, as Paul Malin comes back into the picture. The French youngster Tortelli there behind him. And Chiodi it is that leads. First GP win in Hungary in 1994. He was 8th in the 93 125 series, second obviously in the 94 series. He wants to make that a #1 plate for next year. Can he do it? PUZAR still trailing Eric Camerlengo, but PUZAR certainly making an effort to pass him over the big jumps. Here comes Chiodi. He's out in front. No troubles whatsoever. Second place man. DeLargo it is, number 8. The battle is on for third. Oh, that's PUZAR and Max Bartolini neck and neck. Mascio back there behind those two, waiting for a mistake. But Chiodi, super style over the big jumps, being urged on by his supporters. Here he is. What can you say? Determined young man, 22 years of age, the Italian on course for a heat win. DeLargo now being caught by Bartolini, Mascio, and look at this for a scrap. Tortelli, and that is PUZAR. With Fanton is squeezed between those two, number 59. Well, it really is a battle to the line, but it's Chiodi with a victory wheelie, wins Heat 2. And Tortelli comes through second in Heat 2. Well, Camerlengo went missing. It was Fanton that came through in third place.
Ne vince un'altra qui, Chicco Chiodi.
Round 10 of the championship came to France. And Paul Malin here, number 68, with Mikhail Mascio, the quickest man in time training from the Saturday session. Malin was second. Tortelli, third. Very picturesque circuit. The organisers working extremely hard to make this a picturesque Grand Prix. And we've got riders stuck on the gate. Can't see who they are at the moment, but the race has got underway. And it's Mascio and Vial, the two riders, remonstrating. They want the race stopped, but I don't think the organisers are going to have anything of it. It's PUZAR then. PUZAR, Federici and Chiodi. Charles Sweeby, 60, that's Dugmore. Camerlengo, number 30. Davy Stryber's going through there, number 4. Tortelli, not a good start for him. Mid-pack at the moment, will work hard. Jimmy Button, 59. Oh, down goes number 8. That's Mauro DeLargo. He'll have his work cut out for him now, but it is Federici now that leads from Chiodi and PUZAR. PUZAR dropping off the pace once again. Then Sweeby. Oh, Camerlengo with the back end sliding everywhere just behind Dugmore. The battle is on at the front. Chiodi looks across at Federici as if to say, well, this is my race. PUZAR can only sit back in third and watch the sparks fly in front. The Dutchman, 21, Charles Sweeby, with Colin Dugmore and Camerlengo, and that's Roncada. But it is Chiodi at the front from Federici. From PUZAR, top 3. We're looking back then for 4th. But it's still Chiodi out front, determined to claw back those points on PUZAR. Federici.